Hello, and welcome to Gaming with Grug, and welcome back to our playthrough of Dominions 4. In our last episode, we had finally started taking down Abyssia. We have them down to just a couple last territories, and we're going to continue our assault. But we need to be thinking about our future plans once we've defeated Abyssia. In the north, Femoria has a large army, and they've been fighting Pelagia in the oceans. Our plan is going to be a blitzkrieg to take what we can, but it's not going to go very fast as we want it to because they have a tower right here of a fortress, and I'm going to bet there's a fortress on these two thrones here. If we can take these territories and hold them long enough for our prophet to claim the thrones, then we can win the game. So, my plan is to take everything that we have, march it north to take this throne from Femoria, and then march to the sea, take these 4 provinces from Pelagia, ignoring everything on this side from Femoria, taking this throne and this throne, and thereby winning the game. We may go across a land route if it looks like Femoria is the weaker, because Pelagia does have the strength underwater, and 2 of these thrones are there. The less fighting we have to do there, the might be the better. But that's the current plan. But I've already set up this turn. We are set to take this territory here. Let's go ahead and end the turn and see what the results are. Well, folks, I had mentioned earlier that I thought it was possible that Femoria was planning something. So, we can see that they have finally decided to make war upon us. We cast our Pale Rider spells. We had the battle in Silver Wall. This is that northern province we were taking, knocking Abyssia down to just 2 provinces that they now control. And then there was a battle in Sefecte. That's our northernmost province. They attacked. They wiped out our province defense. We'll take a look here and see what they came at us with. So they brought, interesting, some Yetis, huge ape-like monsters, mount glaciers. They cause chill damage to anybody near them. They brought Fomorian spearmen, weird, mutated, deformed giants. Looks like they have length 5 spears. So what that means is they get that repel attack. They do a huge amount of damage, have a huge amount of hit points. But I think this is another army that we can either fatigue to death, or, because they're not Abyssia, we'll be able to hit them with our fire magic. It'll be great. Looks like they brought a priest. We're not worried about him. Some regular infantry and militia down in here. Who are these little guys? Some vine men. And it looks like we have Desley, the unmarked champion. This is going to be one of their normal troop leaders, but he is sacred at a priest level. And they brought a single griffin. I have a feeling that this wasn't much of a fight. No reason to watch it. But we can at least see what they're bringing to the battle. Unexpected event in Helheim. A very ill omen was seen, and rumors of it have spread to the entire province. Oh, that's not good. I don't like cursed units. Oh well. Sefecte is now under siege. Not a big deal. And 5 battle afflictions were cured. So, they've moved their army on top of us here, and we're under siege. If we can take out a lot of their units and march north, we can start to beat them. We can't lose sight of Abyssia because we're almost done down here as well. We'll go ahead, set up another turn, come back and talk about what we're doing, and see you in just a moment. With Femoria beginning this war with us in the north, I have set up to break this siege. I have brought our undead up here and set up all of our communions, so this will be a real interesting battle. We are continuing to recruit here, and Tarkam and Dahuna need to start making their way across the map so that they can claim these thrones once we take these territories. We're continuing to send reinforcements from here over to the fight with Abyssia so we can take them as soon as we have enough troops. They do have 150. It looks like a lot of them are these fire snakes, which is kind of strange, but we'll be able to take them, I'm pretty sure. Once we have a big enough army, can attack. So we're going to attack here, start marching north and taking these territories. And depending on how weak Femoria is from fighting Pelagia, we may be able to take a lot of their territories very quickly, or we may find that they've just been biding their time in the north, waiting for us to attack. So it'll be interesting to see what it looks like once we start moving. Let's go ahead, end this turn, and see how this battle turns out. Alright folks, we have the result of our battle with our huge number of mages. Let's go ahead and see how this turned out. So, alright. We have all these long dead horsemen, and this looks like a lot of troops, but remember these things die like mayflies. We have our more sturdy troops behind them. These guys are set up to wait for us to cast spells before they attack. Then we have our augurs, our mages, and their communions. And we have the commanders that are keeping the undead together. The enemy, oh lord. We got a lot to look at here. Let's zoom out a bit. So we have some wyverns. These are shock-resistant, scaly reptiles, a lot of hit points. We have some giant scorpion beasts. We have some horned serpents. These are summoned creatures that you can summon in. We have some of their commanders, an unmarked champion, another unmarked champion as well. We also have a barbarian, some yetis, some trolls. They're normal units. They're heavily armored units. Just everything you can think of under the sun. We'll stay zoomed out and let's take a look at what happens. So we have a lot of blessings being cast on their side. And then we should have our communions. And I may have made a mistake. I set up our communions to cast a specific spell 2 times in a row, hoping that they would cast it before they got into combat range. But I think I might have waited too long. The spell is this Pillar of Fire, which kills and does damage to everything nearby. Well, it's not hitting our troops yet, so we should be okay. We finally get to make use of all these fire spells. How are our mages looking? 41 fatigue, not bad. Couple fireballs being cast as well. Alright, we're into combat. I kind of want to keep tabs on how our fatigue is doing. 26 fatigue, 53 fatigue. Alrighty. That was a really slow fireball. Let's speed that up. It's fun to watch that spell hit. I am kind of concerned. We haven't killed many. We're already at 63 fatigue on some of our augurs. I then set them, after they cast that Pillar of Fire spell, to begin casting the Enslave Mind spell. Oh, look at... We have a lot of mages, folks. We have a lot. So it's been 2 turns. Here our troops are moving forward. And then we should... Oh, they have Banishment. That's going to kill a lot of troops. But we should start seeing our Enslave Mind spells going off here. There we go. I think every time we hear that little noise is us taking over one of their guys. Why are communion slaves casting spells? Oh, look at that. We're just pushing through them. That banishment is always annoying. Half of their army is already fleeing. A little bit more enslaved mind. Let's take a look and see how we're doing. 111 fatigue, not too bad. 111, 111, 29. Nothing too bad as far as fatigue goes there. I think. Oh, goodness. Really don't like that banishment spell again. More of their troops are running. We've summoned a fire elemental who's... Oh, no. Alright, so... If you remember, several of our guys have that fire in a jar from when we marched north 20 episodes ago. And it appears they're using it to summon these fire elementals, who, if I remember correctly, do fire damage to anything nearby. Hopefully they don't hurt our troops too much. I think it's safe to say, yep, they're routed. Let's go ahead and see what the results were. Well, that's not good already. So we found a lot of fire in a jar. The reason we found so many of these on the battlefield is that 49 of our augurs died from our mages using too much magic. We might need to rethink what spells we're casting. That was expensive but fun to watch. Other than that, lost a bunch of long dead horsemen. Who cares? Some light infantry, not a big deal as well. Oh, no, we gained a light infantry from them. We also enslaved some militia, javelinists. We got ourselves some spearmen, some warriors. We enslaved one of their leaders, an unmarked champion. All of our large spiders survived the battle. Good. Good to see. So we lost 65 troops out of 814 in that battle. They lost 331, including the majority of their champions and leaders. That really helps. But man, that's a lot of mages for us to lose in that battle. We may have to, again, rethink what we're doing with them. An unexpected event in Dublin, some nature gems. Found some more nature gems. And a huge number of people suddenly migrated to the province we're holding just outside Abyssia. So, with that devastating blow to our mages, I'm going to need to rethink how we're using them in the north. Because if we can't afford to lose 50 mages every time we do combat, I think we might go back to making those jars of fire, stop doing the communions, and just cast fireballs like crazy at the enemy. That might be more effective, even though that Pillar of Fire spell was really neat to watch. So over here, we're continuing to move these troops over to back up our army outside of Abyssian lands. We'll go ahead and set up that movement, continue our recruitment, and end out the turn. So, in the north, we're starting to make more fires in a jar so that we can go ahead and use our Phoenix Power Fireball combo as opposed to using the communions, which went terribly wrong for us. We're moving some troops up to reinforce. We're reinforcing over here. We're sending our Lizard Man squad to take this cavern province. And we're reinforcing here to take out Abyssia's main land. So we'll end the turn and see if Ermor holds off from attacking us for a little bit. And we have a dire portent. It is foretold in the prophecies of Pelagia that before their lord and master, Shadforth, god of the celestial bodies, enemy of darkness, finally vanquishes his enemies and ascends to the throne celestial, he shall grant all of his faithful long and prosperous lives. All ills shall be cured and good health shall be enjoyed by everyone. That prophecy is now fulfilled. The false god of Pelagia has blessed his followers with supernatural health and stamina. This sets a bad example for your faithful, who have not received a similar benefit from their worship. Thus, the unseemly generosity on Shadforth's part must be stopped. What this means is the enemy has cast a global enchantment. We'll take a look at it in a minute. An enemy mage used a mental attack spell on our one turtle chieftain, and he died. That sucks. In Safekte, where we just had that huge battle, we were attacked. I upped our province defense just in case, and it was a good thing, it looks like, because the remainder of that army came at us. And luckily, our province defense wiped them out and also wiped out one of their druids, so that helps a lot too. In the Realm of Silence, our lizard men went forth. Let's just, because we haven't seen the lizard men yet in battle whatsoever, let's take a look at what that looks like. So here's our lizard men, armed with a good defense skill, good protection, armed almost exactly the same as our regular troops, but with round shields instead of the large shields. And there is nothing here to stop them. There is one caveman and one warlord. I don't think we're going to see much out of that. There we go. We had an unexpected event in the bulwark. Ah, some gold and gems, an axe of hate. Awesome. So, with Femoria no longer having a giant... Oh my goodness, what is this? 410, and we're going to have a battle next turn, folks. I see it coming. Luckily, these are mainly slingers. This looks like every junk chaff troop you can get all wrapped into one. That's going to be a battle. We're going to have to make sure we don't lose as many mages as we did last time. So we'll need to check that out in a second. We are organized here to take Abyssia. Our reinforcements, can they get farther? Oh, they can't quite make it. Who are you? I have no idea who this is. We have a vampire? I have no idea when we got a vampire. I'm flabbergasted. He's not that impressive. He has 12 hit points and doesn't do very much damage. But I don't know where he came from. Well, that's a mystery, isn't it? We'll go ahead and keep these reinforcements moving here. I have no idea where that came from. And I'm utterly confused. Oh, might as well grab these couple troops here. Here we have those Abyssian troops that we took control of. We'll just let them stay here. We don't need to bring them with us. I am still just confused on where that came from. So we're almost set to get up here and back up. Got our recruitment running. We're making our jars of fire. Let's go ahead and, since we're getting our huge treasury back, just put a stupid amount of troops here. I'd rather not think about this section of the map right now while concentrating on Abyssia. Our backup troops that we were moving north to back up the undead armies. Oh, we don't want to put them in a position where they might get attacked, so we'll put them there. We also have a couple of our mound fiends, some backup long dead horsemen coming north. So, with that set up, we'll go ahead and end this turn real quickly and be back in a second. So, it is starting to look like the second possibility for what was happening up north the entire time we were fighting Abyssia is the truth. It seems that we keep getting attacked by Fomeria, which means they probably have huge armies that they didn't use for anything the entire game so far. So it's going to be a little rough, I think. But we finished some research and evocation. We had a battle in Sefekte. They attacked patrolling forces, so they wiped out our province defense. No loss in actual troops. But we wiped out 69 of this attacking force. A whole bunch of these junky slingers and everything else. So we're going to have to be ready to fight them. It looks like they have a lot of independent units that they've summoned. Just random everything they can throw at us there. Couple events in the Great Woods. Got a whole bunch of gems. Kolar Magor, more gold. And Sefekte is under siege, no big deal. So here's where they have that giant army moved on top of us. We're going to need to fight. But we're getting close to being ready to take on Abyssia here. Let me go ahead, set up our next turn as well, and we'll be back in another moment. So with that turn, we're casting more Pale Riders now that we've got some of our units up north to back up the undead we might be losing. A couple unexpected events. Donnermark province income plus 20. Troll Canyons. More people are immigrating to that province. We caught a Shadow Imp. Killed him. Sefekte is still under siege, but we have a plan to get that taken care of. And in Troll Canyon, again, we have a huge number of troops. So if we look here, we have got a huge number of troops ready to go. We're holding here. I think we'll hold for at least one more turn before we have to worry about losing this territory. So, let me go ahead and set up the final assault on Abyssia. I'll get that ready. We'll come back, talk about the attack, and then we'll watch it happen. One moment, folks. And we have everything set up to end the turn. We're going to be assaulting here. Depending on how many troops fight us in the initial assault, that'll tell us how long we're going to have to siege this fort in Abyssia. And we're reinforcing in the north, so we'll go ahead and end the turn and see how that assault turns out. And we have our results. We've summoned more Pale Riders. We had the battle in Abyssia. They're into their fortress. We need to take that to beat them. And it was a slaughter. We either took over everyone like this of Beast Trainer, or wiped out everyone else. So I don't think there's much left inside the castle. It should fall quickly. We're destroying the gates. An unexpected event in the bulwark. We found another magic site. That is great. And Sefekte, our troops are starting to starve because we have so many troops there, but that's okay. So what we're going to do is we have this magic item that we've been creating. Oh, let's put this in the lab. We can give him this enormous cauldron, and that makes it so that we are now producing way more supplies for this army. Same thing here. Let's give each one of our military commanders one of those. Oh, look at all these jars of fire. We have a plan for these in a bit. And it looks like Fomeria ran away. Oh, no, they're still here under siege. 550 units. I can't even read the biggest thing. I was looking at something else. So we're going to keep summoning units to come and back up, because that's 500 enemy units we're up against. It's going to be quite a battle when that happens. So next up, over here, we're going to keep sieging until we can take this castle down. And don't worry, folks. We've been waiting long enough for this. I'm not going to let it become the tail end to this episode. I'm going to give the siege on Abyssia its own episode here in a moment. So let's see if we can get those castle walls to break down. Let me set up the end of this turn, and we'll be back in just a second to see if this is ready to be assaulted. Folks, we have ended the turn, and we have quite a bit to look at. We have a giant battle in Sufecte to look at here. We cast some Pale Riders. We've had some unexpected events have happened. We're ready to assault Abyssia. Let's take a look here. First at this Battle of Sufecte. Something went wrong. Part of our army didn't march to battle. We only lost 3 augurs, that's good. But we're missing a huge part of our army here. Oh, we're going to have to watch this battle. I know this episode has gone quite long. We did take out 224, there's 617 units, but we need to see what happened. Because there should be way more troops involved. We're missing a large number of troops here. This is our army from the south. I see what happened. This is our reinforcement army that was coming up north. It looks like I decided to move them into battle, but I forgot to break the siege. Holy moly. Using the troops that were inside the castle, so we were only half of our army against their full army. We're not going to watch this whole thing play out. I just want to kind of see what happens. Oh, they've got magic up the wazoo like we do. I don't even know what these guys are set up to do as far as spells go. So some of our augurs attacked, but not all of them. Well, we may watch this a little bit, see what happens. I know we've gone long, like I said before, but let's take a look. So a couple archers. They've got some very weak wolves back here, but I think these are going to sneak in and attack our augurs. Here come the pillars of fire and the flame spells, just ripping through the enemy. Oh, those behemoths. Listen to them. We're going to have to get more of these. Look at that. They wiped out just a whole bunch of stuff. But those banishment spells are doing a lot of damage. Luckily, they have a lot of hit points. And yes, some wolves got in here behind. Luckily, our mages were able to take them out. What are these? Great eagles are attacking behind our troops. Sorry for the quick jump there, everybody. Had an issue with the recording software, but we're back in to this battle. You can see here that our troops aren't running. We don't have to worry about it, but we just don't have enough here. I don't know what happened where half our army did not show up. I'm going to have to look into. I just must not have had them selected. This could be a grievous tactical error, folks, but I think we can make it through. Let's go ahead and back out of here again. As you can see, we have lost quite a few troops, 182. We did take out 224 of theirs, and the majority of the troops we lost were summoned. Looks like a lot of theirs were too. These wolves are summoned creatures. So I think it turned out being about even for us in that battle. In Abyssia, there's an unexpected event. It looks like some barbarians showed up while we were sieging their castle. We defeated them no problem. And it looks like the fortification to Abyssia's castle has been breached. So, we'll figure out what went wrong here in the north, along with figuring out what it looks like to see Abyssia fall on the next episode of Gaming with Grug. Thanks for watching, everybody, and as always, we hope to see you soon.